Hello, lovely people. I'm Sinead, and welcome to the last episode of the Cardboard Dollhouse. Not to worry, there will still be dollhouse situations, but we have curtains to conquer and uh, some other things. And let's just get started.
As you can see, I have installed some toe stops. I also put a strip in the back. It's a sturch stick that has been cut to length to fit there. I will see if it works. I don't, right now they went in easier. I don't know if it'll hold up to the bouncing of the floor or the dollhouse itself, but we'll see. We'll see if that helps keep the shoes on the shelf. I also got the stainless steel wire for doing the hangers, and it's 18 gauge stainless steel wire, and it is far superior to the copper, which was what I was using. Um, they hold their shape better. It's a little stiffer to bend into place, but definitely holds its shape better. So I'll be needing to make a bunch of those so that we can get some more clothes hung. And I'm sure I have far more clothes than is going to fit in this closet, but we're going to see how much we can fit. Before I pull out the bed and start working on the curtains, I just wanted to show the use of the hanky that had that scalloped edge as a bedspread. I think it looks really good. It goes around the posts nicely because of the scallops, and I like the color in the room. I like the texture that it gives, and I found a purple velvet pillow that I'd made previously. Threw that on there. I do want to do a different bedspread and pillowcases for it, but I might keep this hanky on top and do more of a layered situation with it because the fabric I found is blue. So I don't know. I might do it up a little different, but anyway, it's going to have to come out, and we're going to have to do the curtains. So for the curtains, I have cut two pieces that are basically the same size as the side that they go on, so that it'll be two that size put on each. Anyway, like I said, I'm not sure if this is making sense, but just the simple thing is the same size as the side of the bed is a single curtain, and I'm putting two per side. I also went out to the garage and using a Dremel-like tool, cut grooves in here. I don't know if I can get it to pay attention over here. Um, for the curtain rods, and I need, so the curtain rod that goes in this way actually comes out lower than this, the one going the short direction. So the long direction actually sits below. So it's a little, I cut a little groove in there that the dowel sits down in, and on this direction it sits down lower so that they can both be in the same corner. Um, but I don't have a long enough dowel for going the long direction, so I've got to get some skewers, I think is what I'm going to go looking for to fulfill that need. Um, but it just really depends on what I find. On the curtains, I plan on doing all the hemming and everything by hand. Um, this is 100% cotton organdy, and I tore it because it tears really nicely, and then I will do a rolled hem like you see on the edge of a hanky to finish off the edges, except where I think, yeah, two of the curtains have a salvage edge, and I'm just going to make use of that salvage edge on those two edges. In fact, I may feature it right on the front, the side of the bed that you see. it depends on how I feel about how it looks, but I have to do a casing at the top that the curtain rod will go through. And I wanted to be able to take these curtains down and wash them periodically. Obviously, they need to be ironed as well, but I'm going to have them kind of in this state of being while it's being sewn, so I'll iron them afterwards.
I am having all kinds of supply issues this week. So this right here is a piece of cork that is sold. I picked it up at the hardware store as gasket material. Roll of it is about 12 inches wide and this way and 3 feet the other way, which if I had 2 rolls would be perfect for this project, but they only had 1 roll in stock, so I gotta see if I can find another roll someplace, but I want to go ahead and get this glued in place. This moisture is actually moisture. I sprayed it with water because it comes in a roll and the ends, well, the whole thing is kind of tight and wants to stay in that roll, especially on the end that's in the center. It was a very, very tight roll. So I got it moist in order to not crack it. If you try and flatten it out without getting it moist, you are more likely to crack the roll. Ask me how I know. I've done this before. I used this type of flooring in the high rise on the main floor, and I have really liked it as a flooring that is pretty durable to me constantly moving things around in there. And since this surface is going to get a lot of different things set up here, I wanted to be sure that, if I pick up the cast iron stove and move it around up here, I'm not gonna drag a hole through my cardboard or scar. Like if I did the paper flooring of the lower floors, even with the shellac on it, it's more likely to get scarred up. The cork seems to hold up better. So that was the first or second, actually, that's my second issue. The first issue is on the bed. I wanted to use skewers on the frame for holding the curtain. And my past supply, which ran out sometime this year, was 16 inches. Plenty, would have worked great. But when I went to go get new ones, the longest I could get was 12. And I thought, that'll work. It'll be exactly enough, and I can nip off the end because the measurement is just under 12 inches. The skewer is just under 12 inches by anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. So some of them are just way too short, and this one is just barely long enough, which means I'm using this tapered end, which I didn't plan on using. So I am going to have to go back and get dowel. But this will suffice for this week, and Joey tells me that they'll use this for making, what did she call them? Tombos? You put a cross piece on it and it becomes your measuring device for checking the depth of your cup, bowl, whatever it is you're throwing, and the width. The cross piece is the width of the opening that you want. So anyway, it'll get used. They're going to get used. I don't use them as skewers. I think I tried once, but I'm not a big person for barbecuing in the first place or skewering meats that way. We were for a little while, very, very short while, and we just don't anymore. So it doesn't get used that way. It's a craft stick. That gets used as a craft stick. So I'm gonna go finish up a curtain so that I can show you where I went with this on the bed, and maybe we'll pull it out of the bedroom so that you can see the top of it. Maybe maybe I can work out so you can see the top where I've put the notches in and how it goes together. Here we are with one of the curtains in place and all 4 of the curtain rods. So this one, the ones on the sides are underneath. Their slots go down deeper, and then the ones on the ends are above that. The curtain, I very carefully ironed it and then accordion pleated it. I'll show you that here. The top of the curtain is right here. It's the part that the curtain rod goes through, or the skewer. And I actually put it on the skewer first, but then did some big, just basically accordion pleating so that the curtain would hang. And just like that, and then make sure that I pressed it along here like so. The organdy is really easy to finger press. It takes that right just so easy, so readily to create a crease. So I did that the whole width of the curtain. And as you can see here, then tied a ribbon onto the bed so that it I could pull it back. And then this was sticking out like that, and again, just kind of pulled it down, making sure there was the pleating there, and gave it a little bit of a squeeze, and it hangs. I don't know how other fabrics would react to that. They might require an iron or some other kind of pressing to encourage it to hang properly. But this organdy is really pretty easy to tear to a square dimension, and then, or rectangle, and then hem it. And I could have done this with enough seam allowance so that I could run it through the machine. I just wanted a narrower hem on the edges than what I felt I could do on the machine, and that's my limitations with sewing on the machine. You might have no problem with that, but I'm also leaving a channel up here for the curtain rod to go through, and then being able to hang the curtain rod, the curtains two to a side. So I will actually, when done, have more, a total of, is that 8? No. Yeah. 8 curtains on the bed when it's finished. Another thing that I did was this pillowcase. It's made out of the same organdy. Could probably stand to be pressed now that I've pushed around on it, and there's a bit of fuzz in there. But put a lace edge, and I could have just made a pillow with a lace sticking out the end instead of doing a pillowcase. I don't know. I was playing around, decided to do that. And maybe, let's see if we can arrange this over here. See, I haven't got the other pillowcase done, but I have started on the bedspread. So I've got an opening in the bedspread at the bottom here that will hang around the posts, and I've got little ribbons to stick at the corner. And this, I'm going to just make pillows instead of doing pillowcases. Just make pillows with a lace ribbon detail that matches this ribbon. And I believe this lace is the same color. It is. So I'll be able to have both sets of pillows on the bed at the same time. And they'll have a little bit of element to draw them together. This, by the way, is pink, not cream. But it's such a pale pink that it kind of makes me think cream. Especially in the lighting that we've got going here. Here's the bed back in place in the bedroom, and this time I don't have a ribbon tying back the curtains, and they're just hanging straight down, and that looks really kind of cool too. So yeah, it doesn't have to be tied back.
it can just hang straight down. I need to work a little bit on this one since I did have it kind of swooped and everything. It needs to have a little more attention given to getting it straight. But yeah, it's a matter of kind of tugging on the end and pressing in those plates. And then I've got curtains on this side, which I guess you probably wouldn't notice if I didn't put the other ones in, but I'll know. So I'll eventually get those done and in there, but they're not high priority. And I think since it's a hand sewing thing, it'll just be something I kind of get done gradually. I still have to finish putting the cork down on the roof. I think we're finally dry. So let's get that glued down. I do remember promising to show where the cabinet that I was using in the dining room ended up. And you can probably see it over there in the corner. But this is where our living room is right now. I plan on making another one of those chairs to sit right there. And this has become kind of a library area. Now, this is not what I had planned for a book nook, but it is what fits in this space. And I think that cabinet, this shelving unit here, works so well as my little reading area. And it looks like maybe we have just missed someone reading in the corner there. I don't know where they went, but they're not here anymore. But I just wanted to share how I have switched the use on that, and it really looks cool in that corner to me. I still plan on making a book nook reading area that's separate, standalone, and has a different emphasis on how I put it together. And so that'll be a future video. I'm using the watered down wood glue again. And wow, I'm almost through that, so I can go back to white glue. It is a little different than the white glue. I want to say it's stretchier. I don't know if that's an accurate description. I forgot that this is only 12 inches wide, so don't come to the edge. So I'm just going to glue it on the back side of the upper floor until I can get some more. Maybe should have pulled the whole house out away from the wall. I think this is what they call playing with fire. I put white paper over the cork before putting these heavy objects on it because they sit on the floor, most of these things, on the regular, and I didn't want to stain the cork just in case there was something that I hadn't noticed on the bottom of one of them. And I put it with it curling upwards because that side of the cork looked better. The other side is the side that had tape on it, and it left tape stains. So
Gluing down would have been easier had I put the curl towards the floor, towards the gluing surface, if you put the curve where it works with it, but I just didn't want to deal, I didn't want the stains from the tape, and I didn't want to worry about whether or not they would come off. Instead, I just glued them down. So I think this is going to wrap up our last episode of the Cardboard Dollhouse. And from here on out, Fridays will be dolls and dollhouses, and we'll come back and visit the Cardboard Dollhouse, but we will expand into the high-rise and to some other freestanding doll rooms, so that and dolls, creation of some dolls. But from me and all the Cindys, I hope you have a delightful day, a wonderful week, that you are blessed with much goodness. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.